Yeah, let's start the stream. Come on. Ha. Let's start the stream. Let's start the stream. Oh man, it is so awesome that you are here with us. And let's get started by doing this. 3, 2, 1. Late, okay, at OneYoungsta, so hold it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, coming with another wonderful episode of Loungin. We are chilling, it's kicking it, having a wonderful, beautiful, awesome time on a Friday evening, afternoon, wherever you're at, Friday night, in the middle of the morning. What? Big shout out to Alan Lewis in the chat, Markeith Collins, Shango Zulu. Shango Zulu, we ain't seen you in a while. What you been up to? How you been? How you feeling? How you doing in this Corona timeline? Big shout out to Blurtish in the house, probably Keith, Boogsworthy, Tracy Lee, Kibi23, Alan Lewis, I think I said your name already. Beautiful to see y'all awesome guys up in the spot. I also want to give a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. I forgot to shout y'all out earlier this week. Thought Crimes, Tim I, Enrique Carrion, Jamal Lee. Man, all you guys. I know I've missed a couple of names and I do apologize, but you guys help us to be able to try to push as much dope stuff out there, have a good time and enjoy, all of the funness that is NERDSoul. You guys help me co-produce and get ideas and all that good stuff. So much love to all y'all. Big love to Panda, also Patreon supporter. Much love to all y'all. Thank you so much. But we have a pretty cool show. Guys, hit that thumbs up if you like what you're hearing. Hit that thumbs down if you don't. But if you don't, I'm going to send some M&M stands after you. And you know, M&M stands, they rough to deal with. Now, I am joined by our awesome, amazing co-host, Lady Lisa. Say hey.
Hey, y'all.
So I am extremely excited to get started today. We got some stories. Lady Lisa will run them off, tell us what's going on. I don't know what order she put them in. We will find out. Shout out to Cooley High as well. But what do we have up first?
Let's start with the absolute foolishness. Rapper Boosie Badazz claims he paid for sex for his 14-year-old son.
Well, there's more there, because I want you to get into the mindset. Isn't there a quote in that one? Does that one have the quote? Or does that have a quote?
Oh, it got some quotes. Let's see here.
And what's up, Tracy Lee?
What quote?
Well, why you do that?
He says, one, I can't read this. I can't.
Why can't you read it? Just bleep out the bad stuff.
Okay, hell yeah, I got my effing son de-sucked.
Okay.
And he says, I'm training them boys right.
Okay. I'm going to step in here real quick as a father myself. You know what I'm saying? Boosie, look, I'm talking to you, Boosie. Boosie watches the show. You guys might not know, but Boosie watches the show all the time, especially Beast Vibes Life on Wednesdays or Fridays, depending, hip-hop shows dropping. So, Boosie, listening. As a father of a young boy, a little toddler, NERDSoulite, I'm gonna have to say that you might have over-indexed on that one. Raising your boys up right has to do with restraint, courage, discipline, character, respect, things of that nature. Education, so they can be intelligent, knowing what knowledge is, knowing what wisdom is, as opposed to just knowledge, knowing what strength, knowing what aggression is, knowing the difference and which one is better and worse. Those types of things are what make men men. Sexual acts do not make men. Sexual acts is something that a man might do, but a 14-year-old child is not a man. Doth not a man make. I feel like you might have confused what you consider a good time as an adult to what a child should be experiencing as a good time. A 14-year-old child, maybe like go to the movies, Six Flags or something like that. But patronizing the services of a sex worker is something that you should never do for a 14-year-old child. Lisa, you brought up something a long time ago. We need to also remember that our boys' bodies are also sacred. In many cases, men that have daughters are like, oh, gotta stop the sex, gotta keep them, gotta keep them from the sex, gotta keep them away.
What?
And we forget that our boys' bodies are also sacred. We should not be so callous and wanton with the usage and the activities of our sons' bodies. But I will pass this off to Lady Lisa.
I'm just tripping on how you said we got to stop the sex.
You got to stop the sex, man.
The sex.
You got to stop.
Yeah.
Because when, guys that have, daughters, they're like, oh, nah, get the boys out of here.
We got to stop the sex. But, no, I agree with everything you just said. But to go to the legal aspect also.
True.
You have, that's illegal. If a child is not able to consent to sexual activity with an adult, then you're not able to consent on their behalf either.
Yeah. In a way, you kind of became an accomplice in their rape?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. And this is the other thing is in you teaching your boys this, we don't know where their mind really was in the midst of all of this.
Yeah.
And you could inadvertently be pressuring them into this because, of course, that's your son. Your son, most sons want to do exactly whatever their dad says they want them to do. They want to be what their dad says they should be. They want to be just like their dad, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. That's their dad. Because that's what
they grew up envisioning as a man.
And it's your dad. And so we don't know how he felt about this. Like physically, his body isn't ready for this.
Yeah.
His body isn't prepared for this. And we don't know what this is going to do to him in terms of how he sees and how he experiences sex. And how dare you force this on him as his first time? How dare you? You've taken his first experience away from him. The organic way that it's supposed to happen. Yeah. For everybody to everybody has a different experience for their first experience, but it's supposed to happen organically, and it's supposed to be, the experience that you have, not
with
the
someone
experience
that you actually know and maybe are building something of a relationship with.
Right.
Not someone that's just like, oh, my dad paid you. Hi, how you doing? Oh, well, I guess you're leaving now.
It's just so, and the woman who did it.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
I'm sure he paid a pretty penny, but was it worth it really?
Yeah, that's
for real?
Yeah. So I want to go to the chat real quick. Big shout out to that main chick. Good to see you in the spot. Alan Lewis says, Tootsie and P. Kelly to me are one and the same. This isn't the first time he has said this. He also said it in a rap song and 2 other times on IG. So this is something that he's definitely proud of, unfortunately.
So my question also is, what kind of experience did he have as a child?
Yeah, because see, that's what lets you know. Because even when you look at the R. Kelly documentary, since you brought R. Kelly up, you see the dysfunction and the misuse early in his life. So now, if this is what he's putting on his son, who knows what Boosie's father put on him?
Yeah, it's
just a cycle of broken man, essentially brokenness. Because I'm pretty sure if Boosie did this, he thought it was okay. People around him probably thought it was okay. I thought it was like this cool coming of age thing. And, oh boy. Men, I know some of us are raising men. if we're out there raising young boys and want them to be men, this is not how we do it. This is just not how we do it. This is nothing about what Boosie is so proud about prepares his son for his life without him. Our job as men is to raise our children to be prepared to function without us after we're gone. Nothing about paying a prostitute or a sex worker, whatever you want to call her, to give oral sex or to have sex, sexual intercourse with his son prepares him to be a man. Nothing about it. Nothing at all. And for him to be that proud, I mean, it's a shame. Yeah. But yes, I will say, Boobsworthy says, I'm not going to lie, this sounds prison worthy. Yeah, it's definitely prison worthy. Yeah. Tracy Lee says, I'm shocked. Let your kids be kids for as long as possible. Yeah. And then that main chick says, men get diseases too. Men are not taught to properly take care of themselves. Good point. Big shout out to Kibi23 says, I'm curious, what happens with these young boys when they're around their little sisters, cousins, etc.? They have this warped idea about sex and male identity. Where is that sexual energy going to go?
I agree.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. You could be setting your nieces and daughters up for what, to a certain degree, could be a tone that you've already set, because now you've unleashed or unlocked this sexual energy in this young boy that's 13, 14.
Yeah, I was going to say that, when stuff like this happens, it's what I call you awaken this sexual energy and sexual, I'll just say sexual energy that their body is not prepared for, their emotion is not prepared for, and they are mentally not prepared for. And I mean, it's hard enough, when you're 16, 17, 18, trying to figure this whole thing out. I mean, come on, it's crazy enough then. I mean, when you're 12, 13, 14 years old, and this is, pushed upon you, like, what do you expect to really happen? How do you expect him to maneuver this? How do you expect him to behave in a mature and normal way after this? You've awakened this. And so at this point, being a 12, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, whatever boy, the way he looks at females after this is going to be different. He can't differentiate between when is it appropriate for me to comment on anything sexual about her and when it's not.
Yeah, because also at this time, since he's 13, 14, and you're doing this for him, I assume that maybe you have not instilled yet things like patience, discipline, self-discipline, self-worth, self-identity, respect, restraint. So when you don't have those things in line and you have this sexual energy unlocked and he's around this young woman, especially if he has an audience, because 14 years old, you in school, public school or something, or you around your friends or whatever, whenever there's an audience or there's theater, you know what I'm saying, now it has to be taken to another level. So he could become violent towards women, or he could become sexually violent towards women, meaning like instead of like hitting a woman with his fist, he could always be like touching and grabbing, and you know what I'm saying. So it could be two different types of violence that could come. Or it could just come a warped view where women aren't valuable past this.
Yeah.
Women aren't valuable past what my dad paid a woman to do.
Right. Or it's just a thing of, he just doesn't know, not only that he doesn't know, but let's say his father, but his father did instill values and patience in him. Well, his 13-year-old body and 13-year-old mind don't know how to maneuver that when he's just experienced sex. He's experienced a sexual act. I mean, as a 13-year-old, you're just not ready. You're just not ready.
And I know, I understand. I understand, chat, we in this new world. You got to let people be what they want to be and do what they want. But sometimes it's old because it's right. Because it's tried and true and tested. And there's certain things, building blocks, stepping stones onto adulthood that you should hit before having certain particular engages engagements with the same or opposite sex. Like for instance, when it comes to the same sex, usually you've had, like, say if a man dealing with a man, instead of being like, oh, me caveman, me beat you up, hopefully you've gone through some like youth sports, or you've been in small groups at maybe like a boys club or a boys and girls club, or like maybe a church or something, where you've learned teamwork, where you've learned to give and get, where you've learned when to be a leader and when to be led, and when to notice the opportune times, things like that. But if you haven't, you can become an adult and be combative every time you come up against another man. And we see it online, or with the opposite sex or same sex, depending on what you do. Opposite sex, you only see them as an advantageous physical encounter. That's it. How can I trick her into, or how can I get him to? How can I essentially get them to be this prostitute that was paid for me to do this sexual act, and then just get out my way? You know what I'm saying? And then feeling at odds with, why aren't they doing? Because of course at 14, you were like, oh, well, this is what happens. This is how it goes. And big shout out to the chat. That main chick says he's teaching his son not to value himself, in my opinion, and also not respect women. True. Yeah. And Alan Lewis says the sad part is that this is so common, especially among men, i.e. Usher and Diddy, Jermaine Dupri and Bow Wow, all allegedly. Yeah, allegedly, but we've heard those kind of things. And especially when it comes to the entertainment industry, I know in the biopic or the biography of Andre the Giant, and I know, just let me get to it. He talks about the access to excess, and when you don't have restraint, or when you don't have discipline, or when you don't have respect or self-awareness, that access to excess can get you into very weird places, i.e. paying a sex worker to perform acts on your son who is 14. I mean, I guess even if he was like 24, it'd still be weird. It wouldn't be. At least he'd be an adult.
It wouldn't be weird like this, quite honestly.
It wouldn't be weird like this. It would be. But I mean, it'd still be. I can't imagine, my son being like, say, 30 and be like, "Hey, why don't you just go over there and do something strange for my son?" Like that. It's just weird. I don't know why I gave weird. Boosie that voice, but it just seems weird. But with that said, hey, Boosie, look, hey, I can help you. All right, help me, help you. But what we got next? What we got up in the house next?
Okay. You know what? Okay. So there was a black delivery driver who filmed himself being trapped in an Oklahoma City neighborhood as a white resident demanded to know why he was there.
Okay, so there's a Facebook Live video, and there's a follow-up to this story on the local news in Oklahoma. And the dude is just driving a delivery truck. He delivers, I think, furniture or whatever. So he delivers some furniture. He's leaving. It's a gated community. So he goes in. Here's the furniture. Thank you, guys. Sign this form, whatever. All right, peace out. Y'all be good. So he's driving out. Mind his business. Do, just driving out. All of a sudden, there's cars blocking his way to get out, demanding to know how he got in the neighborhood. He's in a delivery truck. I could see if he was in this like super tinted, I don't know, very conspicuous, but he's in a delivery truck. Like, it's the writing's on the truck.
I mean, I don't know that.
I just assume, because you see delivery trucks, you see, I don't know, mattress store or UPS or whatever. You see, there's a name on the truck because it's called branding, and they want people to see their branding, so they use them to deliver. Yeah.
What's interesting though, now that we think about that, now that you said that, we haven't heard a peep from the company.
True that. I feel, which is heartbreaking, because you see the man in tears. Because when you get into his story, you find out that he lost 2 family members 2 days apart recently. So you have that, and then you have these because another resident came. So you have two white men confronting him while he's in the car, demanding to know where he is, why he's there, how he got in there, and to demanding to know where he got, how he got the code to get in and everything, and to the point where he had to Facebook Live and then also call the police because he's being harassed just for living his life and doing his job. And once again, I'll say, guys, be very careful because in different forms, show me your papers is coming back. They're different forms, but it's the same thing. Show me your papers. Prove to me that you have to be here. Are you an authority? No, but still, because I'm white, show me. Prove to me that you're something.
What white person gave you permission to be here?
Yeah,
that's
that's essentially what they were saying.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that it's a delivery driver. I could see if it was like somebody who might have been like sneaking around backyards and jumping fences and doing weird stuff. This is as regular daily as it gets. Delivery truck. Like that would be like me going up to the UPS man or something, be like, "Who told you could come in my building?" Like I don't know the building people, man. I'm here every day. Like, why are you bothering me? And they blocked this man for what, 30 minutes or so?
Over a half hour.
Over a half hour. And did the police come in?
No, they did not.
No, they did not. Now,
the thing is, though, he said, but hold on.
If it was Barbecue Becky.
But wait a minute. He said that they told him they called the police. We don't know if they really did. We don't know if they really did. Because he said the police never came. Well, we don't know if they really called the police or not.
Yeah, because they might have said that just to try to scare him.
I wish he had called the police.
Yeah.
But he said he called the police afterward. He called the police afterward. It's a crazy situation, and I feel really, really bad for this man, for the simple fact that he said, he was at that time dealing with the death of two family members that had occurred within 2 days. Yeah. And it's like, so you're out here, you gotta work, and deal with that at the same time, and then you have this interaction. And I'm sure at that point he wanted, emotionally he wanted to just blow up, I'm sure. And for this big grown man to sit there and cry on Facebook Live, not because I believe he was, well, I don't want to say that. It could have been because he was afraid. I think it was a mix of everything going on. I think it was frustration, it was anger, and it was fear, and just everything coming together. It's black life,
man, coming to a head. Is because I'm a black person in America trying to just exist. I'm doing my job. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I've lost two family members. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm minding my business. And now I got to deal with this too. And I can't lash out because if I do, I'll be in jail. And then I'll be fired. And then I won't have any money. So all of this probably just hit him, and right. It's just like you can't do anything. Sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. He couldn't laugh anymore. Yeah. And you see this man cry, and it's just a shame. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what else can he do? And then Tracy Lee says, this is not the first story I've seen this week. A UPS delivery person got stopped by a white woman who was saying she felt threatened while seeing him in uniform.
Does she have a phobia about brown pants? I
mean, maybe she didn't like those little shorts, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know. She felt threatened. Booksworthy said it looked like modern day black code type stuff. Kibi23 says tears also equal rage and breaking point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
It's kind of like when you're at the point, I don't know what to do. Yeah. I can't do anything else. And I felt for him in that moment. So we wanted to remark on it. Once again, guys, just be careful out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just be careful out there. And I will say once again, if you can, legally in your state, look up, Google everything you can. Get your hands on a legal weapon that you can have for protection on your own.
Right. Make
sure you fill out the forms, whatever. Gun stores are still open. You usually have to email them or call them to be able to get an appointment. An appointment to actually go in and buy the gun. Mm-hmm. But get all your stuff right. Go buy the gun. Keep that gun on you.
Yeah. And let's be clear, because I don't want no foolishness.
No.
We're not saying go out and shoot anybody and just attacking folks.
And I don't even want you to give that disclaimer. Well, because people that jump and say that, they're smart enough to know that we're not saying that. They try what they're trying to do is start another argument to distract from the main argument.
That's true.
The main argument is that you as a citizen in this country have the right to bear arms. Bear them. Yeah. So then when someone else bears them, you can bear them as well. And they can say, oh, right. It looks like we have equal strength here.
Right. Maybe I don't want this.
Power can check power.
Right.
Someone without power can't check power.
Right.
So if you're jogging along the street, and I ain't saying you got to have a Rambo gun. I'm just saying if you're jogging along the street and somebody jumps out and you say, oh, excuse me, then power can check power.
Right.
But as long as it's a situation where we're always so, I guess, unprotected and so alone in many of these situations, I bet you this situation would have been much different if they approached his truck and he said, please get out of the way. And they kept going. He said, look, I need you to know that I have a service weapon in my car. I am calling the police right now. I feel threatened and I feel scared. Please get out of the way. Right. Once they knew that, they probably would have moved.
Yeah.
But when they think that you don't have any power, then they feel they can do what they want to. So yes, figure out what your rules in your state are, what you gotta sign, what you gotta fill out, whatever you gotta pass. You know what I'm saying, to get your concealed carry or open carry.
Yeah.
And do what you gotta do and get you something.
And learn your laws so that in these situations you can say you are now illegally detaining me or whatever it may be, so they know that you understand what's going on here.
Because technically that's unlawful imprisonment.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because they weren't allowing him to leave, and he had not committed a crime.
No, and they were no authority.
And they were no authority.
So,
oh boy, yeah, and shouts to Kibi23 says, y'all, that whole threatened is just a precursor for killing. Yeah. And Tay 2020, good to see you in the house, says, yeah, power checks power. Unfortunately, it has to be that way. But if it has to be that way, then let it be that way.
Right.
I would much rather Ahmaud Arbery be going to court right now instead of all of us talking about how, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Blessings to the family.
Yeah. We'll get it to the.
We'll get into that later. Mm-hmm. And then Kibi23 says, nope, you're saying go the legal route for protection. Absolutely. Learn the laws and get training. That's it. That's all. Yeah. Because sometimes and when I mean they, I mean most white people that are trying to get you stuck into this side argument of kind of like the Wild West. And that is not what I'm talking about. Yeah. And you know that's not what I'm talking about. And I assume that you're smart enough. And if you're not smart enough, I don't have time to teach you. Listen to the words that I said, repeat them to yourself. I don't know. But I'm not getting drugged down in other arguments. You know what I mean? I said what I meant.
I said what I said.
I said what I said.
In the words of Nene Leakes.
In the words of Nene. Oh boy. Oh God. And you know Nene got a gun. I'm pretty sure she got a gun. No, you know what? Nene don't need no gun.
As slick as her mouth is, she should have a gun for somebody.
I hope she got a little 22 in the purse or something. But with that said, what we got next?
Okay, so our next story. A woman shot and killed by Kentucky. Once again, was our last one in Kentucky?
No, the last one was Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, sorry. Woman shot and killed.
Don't be blaming Oklahoma for
this. By Kentucky police in botched raid, family says. So in this case, what happened, there was a young woman who was at home, and supposedly police officers who were not in uniform had a warrant and was looking for someone and had her address as the place of this person. And they entered into her home in the middle of the night. Her boyfriend had a firearm and shot one of the gentlemen, but they also fired several shots across the whole house, across several rooms, and killed her. Her boyfriend was arrested for shooting an officer, but these officers were not in uniform, and it was the wrong address. That person did not live there, and come to find out later, not only did that person not live there, that person was already locked up.
So, the only reason we're talking about this and these people aren't in jail is because they're black. What's this young lady's name?
Her name is Breonna Taylor.
Thank you. And Breonna Taylor is a what? EMT.
Yes.
So now you're out here killing a first responder that's supposed to be on your side. This is callous. This is dirty. This is illegal. It's corrupt. There is no reason or no way you're going to tell me that you're going to go in plain clothes and serve a warrant by breaking into someone's house in the middle of the night and thinking that when you break in someone's house in the middle of the night, that there won't be any type of repercussion for that. Also, so now all of a sudden what you mean to tell me is you got the wrong address? Really? Do you really think they got the wrong address? All these, I don't believe that one no more. I refuse to believe that. It's a little cold for you. You go get your pants. But anyway, I refuse to believe that they just had the wrong address. I refuse to believe that. I don't believe that they just happened to get the wrong address. Like they were chilling out and just happened to be like, oh man, it's 3013, not 3031. Nah. With all the paperwork that has to go on for these warrants, this arrest, all this stuff, they knew where they were going. They knew what they were doing. I'm tired of when you're rolling around with a gun, you don't have the opportunity to be like, oh, I made a mistake.
Yeah. And reading
because technically the boyfriend should not be in jail. The boyfriend reacted in a way where he should have reacted. Someone broke into his house unlawfully because the warrant wasn't for their address. So they broke into his house unlawfully and he defended his house. Yeah. Why is he in jail? Why is he awaiting any type of decision? But this is America.
Yeah, further down in the article it says records show that the police investigation was centered around a trap house more than 10 miles from Taylor's apartment.
Get out of here. Get out. I'm not trying to hear it.
And they had a no-knock search warrant.
10 miles?
Yeah. So they had a no-knock search warrant. So they were in the wrong place. And so they're going to the wrong address.
10 miles.
And just bust in. Pretty much they knock to announce themselves. It's the middle of the night. No one answers or whatever. And then they come in. So by the time they come in, Breonna and her boyfriend, I guess, have woke up and think they're being burglarized. So, of course, the boyfriend, he's ready. He ready for what you bringing. He ready.
10 miles. Okay. Boogsworthy says no-knock warrants need to be outlawed. True. Or if you have a no-knock search warrant, realize that if you get the wrong place and someone defends their house justly, then you on your own. If you no-knock search warrant, then everything should be on you. If I make a mistake, everything's on me, right? So if they do a no-knock search warrant, everything's on you. A, that boy shot you justly. B, the door that you broke, guess who paying for it? The police department. Whatever you shot up, you fixing that. The woman that you killed, guess what? You are on a wrongful death, and I'd say, if at all possible, because the police union is crazy, but if at all possible, immediately fired. There is no way you can. 10 miles?
Let me read
Think
this.
of your city. 10 miles, you on the other side of the city.
Let me read this.
You went from east side to west end, or west side to the... Ain't nobody. 10 miles?
Let me read this real quick. It says her address was listed on the search warrant based on police belief that a drug suspect had used her home to receive mail, keep drugs, or stash money. The warrant also states that a car...
That's mad vague.
The warrant also states that a car registered to Taylor was seen parked on several occasions in front of a drug house known to the suspect.
Bruh, who's the suspect? That's what I want to know. Y'all being way too vague to be taking people's lives. All right, well, why is this address on here? The other address is 10 miles. Oh, well, they might have been there one time in their life, or they might get mail there. We don't know. We just gonna put it on there. I would not be surprised, because police have been caught up in corrupt scandals before. I would not be surprised if for some reason this girl had to go. For some reason they wanted her gone and she had to go. I have no idea why. I don't know. But 10 miles in a vague, the car might have been in front of this house before. Let's just add this house in.
Because isn't it interesting that she was killed, but the boyfriend who actually shot one of them wasn't?
This is the vagueness of this. The vagueness of this, and the fact that, I don't know, man. All these people getting shot in their home, I'm like, look, I'm going to need way more explanation than this. Because think about this. If I was to kill you, I come in your house, boom, kick the door, pow, kick it and shoot you. Then we got to have a trial. They want to go all the way back to the moment I was born. See what I did wrong. But police do it. Oh, well, they had a warrant. Oh, cool. What was the warrant for? Oh, it's for a house 10 miles away. Well, then how in the world did they get to this one? Oh, well, they added this address on. Why? Oh, because it might be a place that he also get. Well, he might get mail anywhere, or she might get mail anywhere. So why don't we just put every address on this warrant?
And not to mention that doesn't give you just cause to go up into someone's home. And the thing is, y'all just shooting. So y'all just randomly shooting. You don't know if there were babies in this house. Like, are you
Black
kidding
life
me
is
right
still
now?
cheap, and
it's
I applaud that man that shot that officer, because they were breaking in their home,
yes,
unlawfully. And, oh man, wow, 10 miles away. This 10 miles away on the other side of the city, or wherever they are, county, whatever. 10 miles is pretty far. I mean, I know we get on the highway and you're doing like 60, 70. 10 miles don't seem too much. 10 miles is actually a lot.
Because see, this is my thing also, is it's to the point now, it seemed like at first for a while, our issue was that, we were, as Black folks, were being arrested and charged and tried and given sentences that were, unjust.
Yeah.
And so that was our issue. You're giving us longer jail time. You're stacking charges on top of us. We're getting arrested at higher rates. But now it's like, well, we just gonna skip all that. We're not arresting you. We're not going through the charges. We're not going through sending you to jail. We're just gonna go ahead and be judge and jury.
Yeah, and
just go ahead and end it, and we'll sort it out later.
This is crazy. I hope that they're being tried, or someone's pursuing them as murderers.
No. Hold on.
They probably ain't even suspended.
Oh, let me.
It's probably considered a clean shoot for them.
Let me get to it, because it is here. Hold on, I saw it. The officers, identified as Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, and Miles Cosgrove, were reassigned.
Of course.
Pending the outcome of the investigation. So they were not put on desk duty. They were not on.
What they do is shuffle the deck. They always shuffle the deck.
Took them to another location.
They always shuffle the deck. Say whatever town you're in. Like somebody shout out where y'all at, whatever town. Like we're in LA. So say somebody in LA do something wrong here, right? And they get caught. Create some fire for the police department. What they'll do is shuffle the deck and reassign them to Orange County. Don't nobody in Orange County know them. So they'll just go into Orange County and everything will be fine, and the people will be quiet and won't nobody say nothing, and nobody will be the wiser. You know what
but
I'm saying?
The problem
or they'll reassign them, go down to San Diego and be forgotten.
Yeah, and the problem with that is, with this quote investigation, if they're found to have done something wrong and they're incompetent, all this time while you be investigating, you run a risk that they're doing the same thing there and they've killed someone else.
Yeah, and it's happened with officers before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's no consequences. Here's the thing. Those officers and that judge need to be relieved of their duty immediately. Whoever signed that vague but warrant need to be relieved of their duty immediately. There is no way. If it was involving, you want to know how I know those cops are white without looking at them? Because of how vague it is. You know how we have to work extra hard, twice as hard, 3 times as hard, all the time. If it was my warrant, I would have to have social security numbers on that joint.
Well,
their mama name, where they went to school.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that, because when it comes to black cops, they fall under they fall under blue lives, because they will use black cops to do what they want to get done. So if it was a black cop there, they're like, well, this black cop is going, to serve, quote unquote, these black folks. So, now they will throw black cops under the bus to take the blame for something they did. Yeah. Absolutely. But in terms of, saying, okay, you're trying to get a warrant. Oh, is this to go and bust into some black person's house? Do what you feel.
Yeah, do your thing.
Do your thing.
And Tracy Lee says more than likely she was targeted, and I agree too. This wasn't an accident. But guys, look, that man was right to defend his home and continue to defend your home.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that I'm sure he feels like he failed. And, but props to you, brother, for doing what you were supposed to do, which was defending your home. It's, I'm so sorry that he lost her. I'm sorry for, to her family. And thank God there weren't children in the house, or at least it wasn't mentioned that there were children in the house, but it very well could have been. I don't know if this would have been handled differently had children been in the house. I doubt it. Because when
they don't care about black kids.
Oh, what was his name? Castile.
And when
Philando Castile was killed,
his daughter was in the back seat.
His daughter was in the back seat, which was the most heartbreaking, horrifying thing I'd ever seen, because I did unfortunately see the video. And when they scanned over and showed that baby in the back seat, my heart dropped. Just, it's.
So shout out, we got Thought Crimes in the house. What up, Prince and Sin.
Hey, y'all.
Once again, guys, like I said earlier in the stream, Thought Crimes are dope. Say Thought Crimes. Say Thought Crimes. So we got Tyler Bid in the house. What up? So what we got next?
Okay, so the last thing we have is Charlamagne. This is the title. This is okay. I didn't make this up. Charlamagne the God stuns panel when he proclaims black people should purchase legal firearms in wake of Ahmaud Arbery shooting. So shocking.
Yeah.
So shocking.
I like to say that Charlamagne the God definitely watches the show, because we were saying mad early that black people should do it. No, I'm just saying. I'm just playing. Charlamagne, he don't watch this show. He don't be watching. Only on Tuesdays. Anyway.
But I was saying that Charlamagne the God can be real silly sometimes and do some crazy stuff, but he was not playing on this. There was a video where he was saying this in an interview, and he was serious. And I love how he said it in a way like, I'm not trying to discuss anything else. I'm not trying to hum and haw about it. I'm not trying to go back and forth with you about woulda, coulda, shoulda, if. Look, black people, y'all need to go ahead and get your legal firearms, and this would have possibly gone down differently had he had a firearm. And I totally agree. I totally agree.
They probably would have backed up. They probably would have backed up, and it would have been a non-event. Like, if he had a gun and he pulled out when they pulled out, they probably would be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And my issue isn't that he said this, because we said this, been saying it for like the last month or so, and tons of other people have been saying it. What I wanted to bring up to this the most is how she responded.
Yeah.
When she said, well, you know, we don't want everybody just taking out guns. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. You didn't say we don't want white people taking out guns. We don't want everybody just taking out guns.
And I can give you the quote of what she said, because I have it here. She said, well, okay, let me back up, because I want to say exactly what he said. He said, my thoughts, man. Rest in peace to the brother and condolences to his family, said Charlamagne. I wish that brother had a gun on him while he was jogging so he could have defended himself against those thugs, those goons, those terrorists. I call them vanilla ISIS. They hunted him down like he was a deer. I would also tell my brothers and sisters out there to go buy yourself a legal firearm and learn how to use it so you can protect yourself and your family, he added. I think when you are a black person in America, owning a legal firearm is a form of self-care. I wish that brother had a gun on him while jogging so he could have defended himself. I would much rather see him in prison fighting for his freedom as opposed to being in a casket right now. And the woman who was doing the interview said, I'm sure you also understand that the prospect of everybody going out there and using guns to make their points or defend themselves or attack, that may not turn out well in the big picture.
That ain't what he said. Now, she did say or defend themselves.
But she had a whole lot of stuff. But we ain't
trying to make no point. We just trying to say, stay your butt over there where you at, and I'm going to stay my butt over here where I'm at. Ain't nobody call you. Ain't nobody call your name. Ain't nobody ask for you. I was out here jogging, minding my business. Now get your butt back in your truck and go on. That's all we saying. We ain't saying nothing about nothing else. We ain't saying no wild, wild west.
Right.
We ain't doing none of that.
And he says that to her also. And then he also, says he has no faith in the justice system, because Reverend Al Sharpton was on with them also, and she was discussing with Al Sharpton about changing the laws and reforming the laws and whatnot. And Charlamagne made the point that, he has no faith in the justice system. He said, we've seen plenty of white people walk free after killing black men in the United States, which is why he wants a black community to arm itself. And I mean, yeah. It's true. It's like you have to get to a point where you get tired. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And we are in that place of insanity. Yeah.
It's like, we done with that.
Well, they just need law reform. And that we were talking about this earlier, Michael. See, there's no point in law reform because there are laws in place that make it illegal for you to...
The law said they shouldn't have been there.
They make it illegal for you to do the things that you are doing to black people. That law is in place. But when you have people that are unwilling to follow the law and people that are unwilling to check them for not following the law means nothing. You could burn the whole Constitution and rewrite a new one, and it still won't matter if you are not willing, you being the powers that be, if they are not willing to hold people to task and require them to follow the laws. See, the laws aren't the issue. The enforcement of law is the issue. Yeah,
because it's funny. It goes to Kibi's point. Kibi 23 says she was just playing word gymnastics. She knows what message she was sending. Yeah, that joint was definitely a dog whistle to all her white supremacist friends and buddies. Like because when she goes home that night, because this was on the 10th or whatever, when she goes home that night, she can't have her friends be like, "Well, you let these two thugs come on here and tell other black people to get guns." Look, hey man, look, I'm trying out. I gotta do my thing. Anyway, she'll be like, no, did you hear what I said? I said they can't just go out there and do. They'll be like, oh well, good job. Here's the thing: the law ain't the issue.
Right.
The application of the law is the issue.
Exactly.
The enforcement of the law is the issue. We done trying. We done marched. We done prayed. We done sat in. We done boycotted.
We done held hands with candles and kumbaya.
Yeah, we done did vigils. We have done everything. We have done everything imaginable that you could do as a people in general. And I ain't talking about people of color. I'm talking about black people. All right, because people always want to try to slide in. No, look, hey, when you put in on this, you be part of this. All I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. So all I'm saying is, we have done everything that we can do imaginable. Every time, we have hugged our murderers and prayed for them and cried over them, given them Bibles, all kinds of stuff. We off that. Learn your laws, get your gun, defend yourself. That's it. Because the bottom line is, when you get to court, they're not going to help you. So since they're trying to serve justice on the street anyway, when they come towards you after they've stalked you and entrapped you into a kill zone, when they come out of their car, you can say, hold up. We both have the same power here. And since there's no real authority here but you and I, now we can speak on equal terms. But this ain't gonna be none of that mess where you just coming out here and I'm by myself and I ain't got nothing. Because bet money, if Ahmaud Arbery had pulled out on them, we would not be talking about rest in peace right now. Now we'd probably be talking about, this thug is just running around with a gun.
This, like I was saying when we talked about this earlier, even if he had died, at least he would have been able to get a shot off to one of them, and maybe one of them would at least had a bullet in them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we don't know if he would have still gotten killed, but he would have at least maybe gotten a shot off. And so the next time this happens, white people be like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is a different circumstance. This hasn't really happened before. What's going on?
Yeah. And shouts to Tyler Bennett, says salute to Nerd for the POC joke. Tyler Bennett, you say no faith in justice system, yet want illegal guns.
Yeah, I don't understand what
I don't know.
means.
Expand on that, because I'm not sure if I get your comment. So expand on that.
And what POC joke?
When I say black people, I mean black, not POC.
Right.
Talking about black people. Don't be trying to slide in on our stuff and then follow me throughout your store. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he said want. So you're saying want legal guns. Yeah, we need to get a carry permit. I mean, it's great to have a gun at home, but we need a permit to carry them also,
Yes, we need to be carrying them and throughout our daily regimen with it at our side.
Unfortunately, but
unfortunately.
Here we are.
Yes, the application of the law is not the same. I do not trust the justice system, but the ability to have a gun and the justice system are two different things. So yes, as long as we can, as long as they're not coming out saying you can't have it, and there are black, and you can search them up online, there are black gun stores. So as long as you can find one, as long as you can get one, as long as you can legally have one, have it. Have it at your side, have it at the ready. Because this stuff is getting crazy. And they ain't no kumbaya session. There ain't no march that's going to stop it. There ain't no sit-in that's going to stop it. There ain't no boycott that's going to stop it.
We don't need to sit down and have a talk with nobody. We don't need any committees to, we don't need y'all to form a committee.
Yeah.
No.
Shouts to Rugged Elephant. And Tyler Bennett says, take your mask and vest with you every day. Why not?
Wouldn't a vest be a better strategy? How is that a better strategy?
I wouldn't be mad if you had you got your mask, you got your gloves, you got your vest. I wouldn't be mad at that. It's no different than making sure you put your jacket on. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever what's wrong with that? And once again, I'm not saying go out there. No, I'm not going to even go through that. You know what I mean. Defend yourself. Make sure that you are protected. We are seeing that people are going out targeting black people. I'm saying black people because we don't see Asian people coming up in this. We don't see Mexican people coming up in this. We don't see, Hawaiian people coming up in this. I am talking about black people.
Right.
There has been an increased and a larger frequency of these events happening. And it's starting to trickle into basic, regular butt citizens, not even police anymore. So if you're just a citizen, then if I have my vest or if I have my gun, then maybe we can actually have a equal power check power moment.
Right. Because a vest alone does not get you off me.
Mm-mm.
That helps prevent me being killed by the bullet that you shoot. But my gun can shoot you before your gun shoots me. That vest ain't gonna do that for me. And Tyler Bennett, I'm not sure what you on right now. Well, violence begets violence. Look, come on now. Let's not do this.
That's a very saying that violence begets violence is twisting the statement that we're making.
Thank you.
And I think
Don't
intentionally.
Do this. Don't do this.
So and we're almost at an hour. We're at about time. We're at about time. So I'll touch on this. Violence begets violence is a very vague and broad statement. I would not preach or teach anyone to lay down their arms if they were being harassed, hurt, beat, killed, stabbed, shot, punched, whatever. It would be foolish of me to say, continue to be victimized, continue to be terrorized because you don't want to be the same thing they are. It's my Batman argument. We've seen, if you watch comic books, and Captain America gets into it too, Batman will always say, oh, well, I can't kill because if I kill, I'll be the same as them.
So you're just going to keep fighting the same people over and over again.
So what you'll do is you'll put the Joker in jail knowing that he will get out like he got out last time and then kill 20 other people. So now what you're doing is just feeding your self-righteousness talking about Bruce Wayne because I don't kill. Well, actually what you've done is put more people's lives in danger because this is an existential threat that continues to happen that you have made a conscious decision not to deal with. And being the only one that can deal with it. Now, of course, let's get it out of that realm. Let's get back into the real life realm. All right. So you see around yourself that people that look just like you are being hurt, being shot, are being stalked, are being killed. For you to not at least think about protecting yourself by applying the same type of force in defense of yourself could be a faulty wager. Here's why. You could have your self-righteousness and say, you know what? I don't do violence. I don't hold a gun. I don't brandish these things. This is not going to do it. It's horrible. I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to carry a gun. And because violence begets violence. Well, here's the thing. Violence hasn't happened yet. They held up a gun to you and you held up one to them. We're at a stalemate. I didn't say that you have to go around being the aggressor. I said, defend yourself. There is strength in defense. There's a difference between aggression and strength. I'm not talking about aggression. I'm not talking about going around trying to intimidate those. What I am saying is when approached with someone who intends to do you harm, then you can stand up in your defense with your sword and shield of the day and say, no, you cannot victimize me. I will not allow it. And then they will see the sword and shield that you also have equal to theirs and say, woo, well, maybe this is not the situation I wanted to walk into because these people have the same things that we have. But with that said, guys, we are at time. I know we got a lot going on today. Tyler Bennett says, Tracy Lee says, see, I love this platform. Even the baby agrees. Shouts out to the baby demographic, the NERDSoul baby demographic. I got you. And shouts to Kibi23. Says violence begets smart and prepared self-defense. So yeah, and big shout out to Tracy Lee, everybody in the chat. We going from the top. We got Alan Lewis, Markeith Collins, Shango Zulu, Blurtish, Boogs Worthy, Kibi23, Tracy Lee, Jamal Lee, Cooley High, That Main Chick came through, Thought Crimes came through, who else? We got Tyler Bennett, Jamal Lee, we already said you, but we said you twice. And I think that's it. I think Tay 2020. had come through. Rugged Elephant in the house. Yeah. So everybody who came through, if I missed your name, I do apologize. But Lady Lisa, say peace.
Peace, y'all.
You ready to go? You ready to go? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. All right, cool. So guys, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of them places. If you like seeing me, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week or with some gaming and NERDSoul stuff tomorrow, later today, all that jazz. Or you can hit that thumbs down, and I'm gonna send some M&M stands after you. And M&M stands don't quit. Or if you rather listen to me, I have the podcast. Check that out. Also, I got music on Spotify. Holla at ya boy. And from us to you, we say thank you for watching. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Peace. 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 A peace. 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 A peace. Peace. Oh, you gonna do it? You gonna sure. Wu-Tang. Woo, and a woo for you. And a woo for you. And a woo for you. And a woo. And a woo woo woo. And a woo woo. Anyway, y'all be good. Peace out.